Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello. I'm ready to protect you, Mr. President.
That's great. You look good, kid. With
Thank you.
the
Yeah, no,
this
I
is a
try. I
good
thought,
start.
yeah, this
Dark
would be perfect.
glasses and the earphones, everything. You look totally protected from me.
Yeah, no, I will protect you, sir. I will take a bullet for you, but not from you, right? That's important.
Great. Good for you, man.
Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watch Our Pass. I am very excited to talk to Academy Award winner Jon Voight about Shadowland, which is out in select theaters and is coming to digital on June 4th, 2024. I'm going to talk to him right now. And while you're watching, if you can like and subscribe to this channel, that would be fantastic. I'll sweat a lot. Thank you. So, thanks so much for joining me. Today, I've got someone that needs no introduction. I've got Academy Award winner Jon Voight talking about Shadowland, which is already out in theaters and it's coming to digital on June 4th, 2024. It is a political thriller where Jon plays the president, and this is his first time playing a modern president. He's played the president before in the past, but now he gets to play a modern president and get protected from both external forces and from himself. It is a political thriller with some twists and turns. I'm very excited to talk to you. So thanks so much for joining me.
Great. It's great to talk to you. Wow. The way you did that, I don't know how you do that. You're not reading it. Of course,
No, it's all up here. And it comes out a little too
your
fast
dark
sometimes.
glasses, I couldn't read it anyway, but very impressive.
Awesome. The first question, how did you get involved in this film? How did you get on this project?
Oh, well, I've done a couple of films for Paramount Plus. I have a business partner and kind of manager who's got involved with this. So I've done several films for them, and this is another one. They got me, so they say, okay, what about this one? And so I looked at it and I thought it was pretty interesting. So I said, yeah, let's go for it.
That's perfect. That's nice and easy. You have a relationship with them, and then they'll just bring you more films. And yeah, this was an interesting one. I liked kind of the intrigue of it. I liked kind of the way that it set the stage and how it depicted the camp, which was really fun. I know you have portrayed the president before. I believe it was George Washington and FDR. This is your first time portraying a modern president. Was there anything you had to do to kind of like prepare for that?
Well, I've been preparing that for that for quite a while, it would seem to me, because I've been connected to a couple of people who were in the office and ran for office and stuff. And so I knew a little bit about it. I know what it's like. I mean, I know the responsibility of it. I've read an awful lot about history, and the decisions of the presidents have always been very, very interesting to me. I mean, the life of Washington and Jefferson and those guys. It's you look at that, and that whole time period is very, very important to me, and I've always been um, very interested in the stories of all of those guys, Benjamin Franklin, those guys. And and then you come to the presidency of Lincoln, and that's an enormous interest to me. So it seems to me almost every American has gotten a lot of portraits of that office and what it means to us all. It seems like we've had very good portraits of that in our reading and our even in our film work.
Yeah, for sure. And what I liked in this film is like you talk about the decisions that you had to make. Your character had to make a decision, but it felt like a very modern decision. There was a time pressure to it. There was information, you weren't sure if the information was vetted, which I liked seeing. I liked kind of seeing the pressure that a president would face when you're like, we have to make a decision now, is it go or no go? And you're working in
Yeah,
an imperfect world.
I believe that. I
Yeah.
believe that that's the way it happens. You know what I mean? Everybody gets up on it. They give you a bunch of papers. You have to read those papers. These the Congress gets the papers thrown at them, with a to read in a day to make a decision. The president finally has to make that big decision, and he's given all this pressure from different people who he counts on to have done their homework properly. And sometimes they haven't, as we saw with the Bay of Pigs with John Kennedy, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, all of that was interesting to me. I think that's real. So let's see that, and let's see how a person responds psychologically when they think they've done something wrong that has been damaging to many, many people.
Yeah, for sure. No, I like that. And I liked how, as a president should, like that was the president's decision. And they kind of like your character took responsibility for the outcome, regardless of what it was. You're like, buck stops with me, essentially.
Yeah, exactly right.
So did you model your president after any historical president? I mean, you mentioned a couple, great leaders in the past. Was there anyone that you specifically tried to model after, or did you just kind of
Oh,
use
no.
what you'd learned to create your own character?
Yeah, I didn't think about, yeah, I didn't think about that. I just thought about the human being in that position. It could be any president. All of the presidents had those moments, all of them.
Yeah, for sure. I also love, it's not just a political thriller. You got a little bit of action in this movie too. You're riding a horse, you got to shoot some guns. What was it like doing that? Did you have to do any preparation for that, or have you been doing that your entire career? So it was just like, riding a
Uh,
bicycle.
I do like, I love horses. I love horses. And since I was a little kid, I've always loved horses. And if I'd grown up on a farm, I don't think I'd have left it. I think I'd have just been a cowboy or something like that. But anyway, but I've done it in films, and then I've learned a few things, in the action pieces that I've done. So anyway, it wasn't hard for me. I did the work before, you see,
Yeah.
in film. I didn't have to prepare for this film. Um,
Yeah, no,
but
that makes sense. I mean, you have so many films in your background. There's probably just like, pulling from your repertoire things that you'd already done before.
I've worked hard at, I worked hard to try to learn the different things, like horses. Horses are very interesting. There's a person who works who owns a ranch actually, and shows horses and stuff like that. And she said to me, she said, John, the a horse will either like you or not. He said, and you can figure that one out. If that horse likes you, it doesn't make any difference if you're a good rider or not. That horse will protect you.
Um,
That
I just,
gave me, that may have been a lie, but at least gave me such confidence, you know what I mean? But then she said, the next thing she said, like she introduced me to a horse, she said, this horse likes you.
there you go. Yeah, maybe that's all you need. You just need that confidence. And the
I
horse is like, well, this
gotta,
person knows what they're doing.
the fact is there's something to it. I did this piece, Return to Lonesome Dove. It was I don't know, 2-part, 4-part, or I don't know what it was, miniseries, right? And I was looking for a horse, and I saw this horse. I didn't like the horse that they picked for me, and I went out with this cowboy, who was given the responsibility of dealing with this cranky actor. See, and he was a nice guy, and I said, "Well, what else you got?" And he showed me these horses, and I said, "Well, the horse they had for me had a hitch in the way he was dangerous, actually. The only way that horse would have showed up properly would be a really good rider who knew how to fight against this horse's tendencies." And I said, "Well, what else you got?" So after about the third try at this, we go out with this horse that wasn't working, And the reason why the initial horse was chosen is because he looked good. He had a nice look to him, but he didn't, he was a little screwy. But I go out with this other horse, and it's not working. And I look at the guy who's with me, the cowboy, and he's riding this horse, and this horse turns on a dime. He's just great. And I said, whose horse is that? He said, John, this is the horse I chose for you. I said, really? He said, let me try it. And I got on that horse, and that horse was like, I don't know, it was like driving an automatic. It was just fantastic. And that horse, right away, with me on him, not with that cowboy who really knows what he's doing. And I'm okay. I know a few things, but really I'm not a great rider. Don't spend that much time on it. But I was able to do everything I needed to do on that horse easily, just from the first time I said it. And that horse liked me. he did like me. He would come, I would call for him and he'd come up to me and stuff like that, you know. And in the film, he made me look good. That horse made me look good. It made me look like a good rider. Actually, people came up and said, geez, you're a great rider. And I know it was the horse.
That's awesome. No, that sounds like the movie business, right? If your coworkers like you, they make you look better. They make you, you know,
That's it.
everything gets better because of it.
Exactly right. This was, I can tell you really specific moments, but we don't have the time to do all of that. But that horse was really quite amazing, like miraculous. He knew what had to be done when nobody else knew what to do.
That's awesome. And you know, I love the cast in this film, you know, you specifically, but then Rhona Mitra as well. Like, had you worked with any of them before? Or was this all kind of a new experience for them?
This time I worked, but I was recommended. They were recommended to me. Said, John, you're going to like this person, whatever, you know, Marton Csokas and Rhona Mitra. They were both very highly recommended to me. There's another guy in there, Phil Winchester, who's another great actor in the group. But when I worked with these guys, it was like, well, this was it, because casting is everything.
For sure.
Everything.
Especially in a movie like this, where there's only, you know, like 4 or 5 characters. It's like a small but mighty cast, and it's very important that they all kind of like get along well.
And they're good, you know.
Yeah.
And Martin, I'd seen in, you know, with Denzel Washington. And he's a remarkable actor. And I was so looking forward to him. And then Rhona Mitra was highly recommended me. And then I saw her work on this piece. I said, there couldn't be 2 actors who were better for this, you know, the conflicting, bizarre
very different characters. Yeah,
they had. I believed it. I believed it, you know, and they were great with me. So I really was very fortunate to work with both of them.
that's awesome. So I know we have very limited time. I'm going to switch to a lightning round, just very lightweight questions about the film. You can feel free to skip any of them. I won't be offended, but I try to keep them very answerable.
You're terrific. Listen, I don't want to spoil that work you did. This is great.
Awesome.
I
First
can
question.
live up to it. You know?
You are definitely living up to it. The first question: have you ever wanted to run for political office?
No,
No.
no. I think I'm good at what I do. I think I can be helpful at this moment in time because I've studied quite a lot of things, you know, and I've had a lot of help from very wise people in different aspects of my life. I can be helpful to people sometimes, but to put myself into that situation on a daily basis, I couldn't do it as well as the people that can.
That was a very smart answer. I love it. Second question: this film involves an MRE. Have you ever eaten an MRE before?
I didn't hear it again.
Have you ever eaten an MRE before? A meal ready to eat, a military meal?
Oh, no. I was in the service, you know, I went through basic training for the reserves, and I ate any damn thing. I don't know what the hell I was eating. It's very possible I was eating some of that. But I tell you, my mother was so funny. She would make the meal. She was the first person that really explored, you know, these frozen foods stuff. When the frozen foods came out, that was her. She did everything frozen foods, right? So, and I would have the same thing almost every day: cube steak and a salad with onions and tomatoes and lettuce and potatoes from, you know, frozen potatoes, everything. You know, it was all this stuff. And she did it nicely, very nicely. It was always the same thing. She would just maybe every once in a while, maybe chicken today instead of the cube steaks. But we would have the basics: peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That was it. That's it. That's lunch. You know, stuff like that. So when I hit the service, I was in heaven. I had so thought this was the greatest thing. I could have as much as I want of everything. You know, I ate. I went back for seconds. People were having food. You know.
Go to waste. Yeah, that's amazing.
People were having food rights and I'm enjoying myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I never had one of those, you know, those rations. No.
Yeah. Oh, they are a unique experience.
I probably tasted them as I did, but I mean, not in the service. I wasn't in the service needing them. You know.
For sure. And the last question, the president in this movie has a nickname, Big Duke. Do you have a nickname that people call you? Could be friends, could be other actors that you've worked with. Do you have any sort of nickname that people call you?
One person who a fellow, I did a movie about West Texas getting the national title. It was the first time team of black players, 5 black players, won the national championship. And I played Rupp, this Kentucky coach. And I changed my face and did all this stuff to get it. It's a good performance, Adolph Rupp. And one of the guys on the West Texas team was a good actor and a comedian too, funny guy. He said, the comedian is here. He's talking about me. You see? Oh no, awesome. No, not the comedian. He said the oh my gosh. What's the name of the animal, of the kind of lizard that changes his shape?
The chameleon. The chameleon.
Chameleon. That's what he called me. He's going.
Oh, that's perfect. That's a great nickname. I love it.
That's a nickname I got, and I have another nickname. My son calls me the Captain, and it's a nice name, Captain.
The Chameleon and the Captain. Those are both great. And Glory Road. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite inspirational sports movies of all time. So I'm glad you brought that story up.
Yeah. I like being in that movie too.
Yeah, that was awesome. Well, you can check out Glory Road, but first, make sure to check out Shadowland. It's out in theaters now. It's coming to digital on June 4th, 2024. This is Academy Award winner Jon Voight. He plays the president. He plays a modern president that makes some important decisions and also has to be protected from both external forces and himself. It is a wonderful political thriller. Thank you so much for joining me.
Great to be with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This was fantastic. That was Jon Voight talking about Shadowland, which is out in select theaters and it's coming to digital on June 4th, 2024. There's a new political thriller about protecting the president and maybe protecting the president from himself. Jon does a fantastic job as the president in this film. It's his 3rd presidential role, but this is the first modern one. I loved his performance. If you like this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.